A championship is only as credible as those who challenge for it. Look at boxing and UFC. The biggest fights are built up to be just that, the biggest fights. Sometimes in WWE, challenging for the title can come down to name value or just being flavour of the month. Like for example, this month I'm really into salt and vinegar crisp, but last month it was prawn cocktail, which actually, strangely, I prefer. Of course, we're never going to get that long Bruno Sammartino title reign, or even in recent times that CM Punk title reign, but it would be lovely to see a lengthy title run which ends in a big shocking defeat. Amongst all the madness of wrestling today, there's been some questionable number one contenders, literally coming out of nowhere like a spider running across the floor, which actually scares me, to challenge for the WWE title. It's not always who is challenging, but why they are challenging, when we know, in Mr. McMahon's words, there's literally no chance in hell that they are going to win the title, or at least we think there's no chance in hell they're going to win the title. My name's Nathan from What Culture Wrestling, and this is the 10 WWE number one contenders who nobody actually thought could win. Number 10, Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez made his WWE debut on the first episode of SmackDown on Fox, confronting Brock Lesnar and setting up a match for Crown Jewel. He came out alongside Rey Mysterio, but the memory that sticks in everyone's mind is the way that Kofi and his title reign was ripped apart in 9 seconds by Lesnar. That's quicker than Sheamus beating Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and Kofi didn't even start the match kissing anyone. Did anyone really think Velasquez was going to beat Lesnar at Crown Jewel and become the WWE champ? No way! In the MMA world, Velasquez is a two-time UFC heavyweight champion who famously beat Lesnar in the octagon. So yeah, in the MMA world, he's as legit as they come. But in the pro wrestling world, it just wouldn't have made sense for him to beat Lesnar so soon after debuting. The eventual championship match lasted 2 minutes. That's 111 seconds longer than Kofi lasted. And as we know, in the MMA world, fights can be over in 5 seconds. But in a WWE title match, I want to see blood, sweat and tears for the most prestigious title in the company. Number 9, Kane. Daniel Bryan's quest for the WWE title was quite frankly unbelievable. He went from being an antagonistic heel to being one of the most beloved and over babyfaces anyone had seen in a long time. Everyone around the world was doing and is still doing the yes. It was a story of overcoming the odds and fighting from beneath to finally reaching the top of the mountain at WrestleMania 30, beating Triple H, Randy Orton and Batista all on the same night. B+ player? You're having a laugh. Now who was going to be Daniel Bryan's first challenger? Cena? Lesnar? Roman Reigns? It could have been, but nobody really thought it would be Kane, or Corporate Kane, or the Mayor of Knox County, Glenn Jacobs. You got the 3 faces of Foley, now we've got the 3 faces of Kane. The Big Red Machine is a former WWE champion, a future Hall of Famer, and has pretty much done it all in the business. He even got married to Lita on Raw without much interruption, and if we look back on the history of any marriage on Raw or SmackDown, that, my friends, is a rarity. No one thought that Kane was going to dethrone Daniel Bryan, especially after how much the Authority had put Daniel Bryan through in the past. Number 8, Sting. I wanted Sting to enter a WWE ring in 2001 more than anyone once WCW's doors had closed for good. I also wanted Flair, Nash, Hogan, Hall, Bischoff, Goldberg, but we didn't get any of that because of the guaranteed contracts at the time. And to be fair, if you're getting paid $2 million to stay at home and put your feet up, what are you going to do? Stay at home and put your feet up. We did get Sting in 2014, just not the way that we envisioned it. At WrestleMania 31, it was Sting versus Triple H. It was the NWO versus DX. It was pure nostalgia, and actually, I really enjoyed this match. I was entertained. It took me back to the 90s. In the end, Triple H defeated Sting and the NWO, just like Vince McMahon had defeated WCW and his competition 10 years prior. Now, did anyone, and I mean anyone, really think that the NWO was going to go over DX? Monday Night Raw was the reveal of the statue of Sting, which got a huge pop, including one from me. But what reason was Sting going to challenge Seth Rollins for? Well, it comes down to name value, and names don't get much bigger than Sting in the wrestling world. There's a reason he's a Hall of Famer. Fast forward to Night of Champions 2014 and Sting challenges Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. Of course, Seth Rollins wasn't going to lose his title against Sting here, was he? Unfortunately, it didn't end well for the Stinger as he received a buckle bomb and got injured, ending his in-ring career. But boy, oh boy, I would have loved to have got Sting versus Undertaker in 2001. Number 7, Sheamus. Sheamus is one of the most consistent in-ring performers around and has shown numerous times that he can go with anyone. Look how many titles he's won. You can find that information on Google or Wikipedia and it shows how good he has been. And anyone who doesn't agree, what's wrong with you? Back in 2009, Sheamus literally came out of nowhere like a spider running across the carpet to challenge John Cena for the WWE Championship in what seemed like a blink of an eye. The Celtic Warrior won a Battle Royal on Raw for the right to challenge Cena at TLC, and boy, he did challenge him. Cena was the #1 guy in the business at the time, and I really didn't think that Sheamus stood any chance to win the championship. But, ooh, plot twist, because he did in a huge upset. In a tables match at TLC, Cena was sent flying through a table whilst they both wrestled on the top rope, and therefore Sheamus becoming the WWE Champion for the first ever time. To everyone's surprise, the unthinkable happened. At the time, fans were continuing to turn their back on Cena. Everyone was calling him Super Cena due to his supposed immortal 5 moves of doom, and praying for him to turn heel as well. So this was a result that no one in their wildest dreams saw coming because you can't see John Cena. That was rubbish. I buried myself there. I'm gonna leave. Number 6, King Mabel. Imagine if King Mabel actually won the WWE Championship at SummerSlam 1995, beating Diesel, going on a lengthy reign before dropping the title to Bret Hart at Survivor Series. Just sit and imagine for a moment. History would have been changed. I mean, you could pretty much say that for any title match in the past, but for this sake, there was no way that King Mabel was going to defeat Diesel in this match. There was no way, and that was partly due to the main man, Vinnie Mac. 1995 was a time when smaller wrestlers such as Shawn Michaels were reaching the top of the mountain and paving the way for future smaller title holders such as CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. You didn't have to be a 7-foot monster to be the champion anymore. So thinking about that, I'm 5'7", so could I be seen as a top guy in WWE? Give me 5 years and I'll be WWE champion, if you smell what I'm cooking. Number 5, Dolph Ziggler. There's no denying that Dolph Ziggler has made a huge amount of money from wrestling. A lengthy world title reign might have catapulted him into the outer universes of wrestling. During Dean Ambrose's WWE Championship run in 2016, Ambrose had no challenger. Styles was still fairly new to the company at the time, and he was also locked in a feud with John Cena. Maybe a triple threat was in the pipeline of Styles, Cena and Ambrose. I wouldn't have said no to that, but it was pretty clear that AJ Styles and John Cena were on a collision course for the meantime. Ziggler won a 6-pack challenge to face Ambrose at the second biggest show of the year, SummerSlam. Now if you're not a wrestling fan, a 6-pack challenge probably sounds like it actually sounds. A challenge to get a 6-pack. I mean, what's next? A couch to 5k challenge to face Braun Strowman? Back to the point of this video. Ziggler was never going to dethrone Ambrose, and in this match his role was basically to put the champ over. He didn't win, and after all of that he entered into a lengthy entertaining feud with The Miz over the Intercontinental title, eventually winning it at No Mercy and saving his career in the process. There's still time for the show off to reach the top of the mountain, but hopefully not in a DDP Yoga Challenge match. Number 4, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has never been portrayed as someone to be a huge threat and to be constantly involved in the world title picture. But of course, it's Rey Mysterio. He doesn't have to be. He's a star regardless. He's won titles all around the world and has inspired the next generation of wrestlers. The future WWE Hall of Famer won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 22 back in 2006, beating Randy Orton and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match. He also won the WWE Championship in 2011, beating The Miz in the tournament for the vacant title, but then later that night lost it to John Cena. And he also challenged Undertaker in 2010 for the World Heavyweight Championship in a match that nobody thought he would actually win. So in what took longer to explain than I anticipated whilst planning for this video, he's been in the title picture before. More recently, Mysterio challenged Brock Lesnar for the WWE title at Survivor Series. In the run-up to the match on Raw, I've still got those images of Dominic getting thrown inside the ring, outside the ring, suplex, up, down, left, right, anywhere and everywhere. Basically, he got absolutely mashed up. But how big is this kid now? I still remember the custody for Dominic days in 2005, and now he's standing in the ring looking completely different with his dad Rey. Or maybe Eddie Guerrero was right all those years ago. Brock Lesnar won at Survivor Series in a very entertaining match and a result that surprised no one. Number 3, Ricochet. Ricochet, man. If there's one person I'm rooting for in the WWE, it's Ricochet. It was only a few months ago that he was challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, and in truth, it's hard to believe that he stood any chance against the Beast incarnate. Brock Lesnar was always going to beat Ricochet, that's inevitable, of course he was, but I really hoped for a more competitive match. Ricochet is a former NXT North American champion, he's fought all over the world and can really go in the ring. You literally have to keep your eyes glued to the screen as he bounces all over the place, hence why he's probably called Ricochet. Lesnar has had some quality matches in the past against smaller opponents, including AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor, but not against the former Prince Puma, which is another good name that he used because pumas and cats in general can actually jump really high. It took 94 seconds for Lesnar to beat Ricochet at Super Showdown. Again, I want to see blood, sweat and tears for the #1 title in the company, and all I got was tears from me. Number 2, Hardcore Holly. I know you're thinking it, so I'm gonna say it. Yep, Lesnar is back in this list again. Back in 2002, Hardcore Holly was dropped onto the back of his head by Lesnar, breaking his neck in the process and missing 13 months of action as a result. Holly returned in 2003 at the Survivor Series as a member of Team Angle, desperate to get back at the then WWE Champion, Brock Lesnar. He beat up Lesnar before the match began and also shoved the referee, leading to his disqualification. The seeds were well and truly planted for a feud with the championship on the line. We've been down this road before with an injury and someone out for redemption, but did anyone really think that Holly was going to beat Lesnar for the WWE Championship? I didn't, and I know you didn't, unless you did, and if you did, then I would say, what's wrong with you? Lesnar beat Holly at the Royal Rumble, ending Hardcore's hopes and dreams of reaching the pinnacle of the industry in around 6 minutes. That's 5 minutes and 51 seconds longer than it took to beat Kofi Kingston, 4 minutes and 26 seconds longer than Ricochet, and 4 minutes longer than Kane Velasquez. In truth, this was the only result that could have happened, and I'm going to stop with the maths because it's really hurting my brain. Number 1, RTruth. One of the best things in wrestling is when a comment made in the promo or something said in the match randomly gets over. RTruth had some hilarious promos in 2011, but the thing that made me crease up the most was the little Jimmy stuff. I watched some back the other day and I gotta say, it makes me laugh now as much as it did back then. The little Jimmys, the big Jimmys, the little Jennys, the Mama Jimmys, the whole Jimmy family were conspiring against RTruth on his way to the WWE Championship match at Capital Punishment against John Cena. Did I just say all of that? This was also during a time when the anonymous general manager was running the shows. You know, that famous Michael Cole line, "Can I have your attention please?" I have an email from the anonymous general manager that everyone loved. Okay. Nobody loved. Getting back to the point, RTruth was never going to be a threat to Cena in this match, but after this, the future 24/7 7-Eleven champion formed a team with The Miz called The Awesome Truth, culminating in a match at Survivor Series against Cena and The Rock. And I think that RTruth is doing some of his best work today with the 24/7 title. Again, he's entertaining me, and what's the third word in WWE? Entertainment. Or Elias. They were the 10 WWE #1 contenders who nobody actually thought could win. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and we've got loads more videos on this channel, so make sure you check all of them out too. I've been Nathan from What Culture Wrestling. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.